From Nutrient Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, November 6th, 2023. We'll get started looking at the infrared satellite picture here early on Monday morning. An active pattern continues across North America, one that's going to bring us some light doses of snow as we head through midweek, a quiet finish to the week, and then some more chances for light snow as we head into next week. A very similar pattern here that we've seen over the last week is likely going to continue on into the middle of November. So we've got a disturbance right now moving through parts of the Great Lakes. That's bringing a wintry mix to portions of southern Manitoba. That is going to be tapering off through the day today. Got another push of jet stream energy here across parts of the Pacific Northwest and Western Canada. We're going to see another little system emerge from that and bring some light snow to portions of the prairie on Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll look at the radar here. Again, that wintry mix, some light snow, some light rain pulling out of southern Manitoba. Got some very light, insignificant showers along and north of Highway 16 as you get into parts of Saskatchewan and central Alberta as well. Again, insignificant precipitation across those areas with heavier precipitation as you make your way off to parts of the Pacific Northwest and southern British Columbia. Temperatures very close to the freezing mark here Monday morning, a couple degrees below or a couple degrees above freezing as you make your way across the prairie. And as we look at weekend precipitation across the region, we again saw some of that light rain, some of that light snow across portions of central and southern Manitoba, scattered precipitation, light in variety here across central and southern Saskatchewan, and then it was a dry weekend across much of Alberta as we look at precipitation being relatively dry across those regions over the last week, and then unfortunately as we head through the next 7 days as well. Now, again, we do have some opportunities for some accumulating snow, much of that going to be focused across southern and southeastern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba, and a lot of that focused over the next 48 to 72 hours. We're looking kind of broadly at the European model, the total precipitation forecast over the next 7 days. Again, a lot of moisture being deposited across coastal areas of British Columbia into the Pacific Northwest. Got a lot of moisture here across parts of the southern U.S., a heavy corridor of snow making its way across parts of eastern Canada. But right here across parts of the plains into the Canadian Prairie, we're really getting these lighter doses of snow as we go through the next 7 to 10 days. So here's a look at that, the European ensemble snowfall forecast. Again, a lot of this falls Tuesday into Wednesday. We've got a couple additional opportunities for some very light snow, but looking at the chance for maybe 5 to 15 centimeters of snow across portions of southern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba as we head through the day, Tuesday into Wednesday. Now here's the upper level pattern, the jet stream as we head through the next 7 to 10 days. Let's go ahead and bring it back here to Monday morning. Kind of what I would call fast zonal flow across North America right now, but we have several disturbances embedded within that. We've got this first little trough right now that's bringing the precipitation or has brought the precipitation to parts of central and southern Manitoba that's going to be tapering off as this disturbance continues to move off to the east. And then we've got, again, this area of stronger jet stream flow making its way ashore from the Pacific across the western United States, and it's embedded within that flow that we'll see another little system make its way into the prairie as we go through the next 48 hours or so. Let's go ahead and look at the precipitation forecast then from the European model. This will help us kind of nail down the timing on these two systems. Here's the departing wave right here. As we go through the rest of the day today, we'll see that precipitation come to an end. Again, those very light snow showers continuing along and north of Highway 16 across central Saskatchewan, maybe some flurries across central and northern portions of Alberta. The heavier rain and snow begins to lift into the prairie, parts of far southern Alberta and southwestern Saskatchewan. You can kind of see it right here. This would be after sunset tonight, getting into the very early morning hours on Tuesday. This would be about 3 a.m. on Tuesday. This would be sunrise Tuesday morning, getting into the mid-morning, and now midday on Tuesday, starting to see some of that precipitation flipping over to snow across central and southern Saskatchewan. It begins to push on into southern Manitoba as we head through the Tuesday afternoon and evening hours, getting into Tuesday night. Now here's what it looks like midnight Tuesday going into Wednesday morning. We've got the first little area of low pressure making its way into southern Manitoba, and then as this kind of pulls through, it's going to yank another subtle little disturbance around the back side of it. That's going to bring an additional shot of some very light flurries. So this moves through on Wednesday, just bringing that light shot of flurries as we head through Wednesday night into Thursday. You can kind of see it wrapping around right here. This would be sunset on Thursday, heading into Thursday night. And then by the time we get into Friday morning, we're looking at a quieter pattern for the weekend. So maybe some flurries sticking around for your Friday. This would be getting into Saturday, and then this would be your Sunday. Then we kind of reset things. This is kind of how this week has evolved. We have a very similar evolution next week, where we'll enjoy probably a quiet weekend across the prairie before that next push of jet stream support is likely going to have, it's likely going to amount to additional subtle disturbances making their way in, bringing some additional light snowfall to the prairie. I think the larger storm overall, the broader support, is going to sink south across the western U.S. We're going to probably see a rather intense storm system eject across the central and southern United States as we get into maybe mid and late next week. That would leave us maybe a little bit too far north, but maybe on that northern periphery where we're cashing in on, again, some of that lighter precipitation across the region. So just recapping, here's a look at what you've got. I don't know if you can hear my dog barking in the background. He's excited about the transition to winter here. But again, looking at that light snow, that light rain moving into parts of southern Alberta and southern Manitoba late tonight into tomorrow morning, with that snow then pushing into southeastern Saskatchewan on Tuesday afternoon, into southern Manitoba Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night. We then see those light snow flurries getting kind of pulled in on the backside, lasting through Thursday and Friday. A quiet Saturday and Sunday before we'll probably be talking about more in the way of light snow or light rain as we get into early next week, November 13th, 14th, and 15th. Real quick, the NAM model, this just kind of ties it together, helps us build some confidence in the timing here. Again, the precipitation tapering off through the day today. We then see that rain and snow mix lifting into southern Manitoba and southwestern Saskatchewan overnight into early Tuesday morning. That precipitation really transitions over to mostly snow, possibly a heavy wet snow, maybe some sleet mixing in there across southeastern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night. And then we flip it on over to very light rain showers, very light snow flurries through your Thursday and Friday. Total snow accumulation. Again, not much going on through the day today. We'll look for that snow to begin stacking up, especially across central and eastern parts of Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba during the day Tuesday and Wednesday, with very light flurries continuing Thursday and Friday. This is what the European model has for total snowfall accumulation. Again, some spots here hitting 15 centimeters, maybe locally higher. Broadly just talking about 5 to 15 centimeters of snow, though, across central southeastern Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba. Parts of Alberta, all the way back across western Saskatchewan, you certainly could see some snowflakes. You certainly could pile up maybe a dusting or maybe a quick trace, an inch or so, but the heavier snow off to the east here as we talk about this week. Here's a look at the total precipitation again, talking about anywhere from maybe 12 to 25 millimeters of total liquid precipitation in the heavier corridor from southern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba. Here's the probability of picking up 3 inches or more of total snowfall, those higher probabilities, once again, across southern, southeastern Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba. Now, here's what it looks like this weekend. Again, this is where we have kind of the break in the pattern, the stronger flow and the jet stream pulling off to the east. We've got kind of ridging in the middle, and then this next Pacific jet extension coming in here across the Pacific Ocean. Again, this is around Saturday, November 11th. Now, as I take the drawings off and we kind of animate this, heading into next week, we're going to see that next push of jet stream flow over spreading Western Canada and North America here as we get into early next week, November 13th, 14th, and 15th. This is likely going to amount to another shot of snow or two at least across the Canadian prairie, but you can see what I mean here. As we get into the deeper part of next week, we really see the main trough overall kind of sinking well south across the southern United States. So this is a pattern that on one hand is not really linked up to a lot in the way of really bitterly cold Arctic air. We just don't have that feed right now. So it's a mild pattern, but it's also a pattern that's not going to be sending any sort of significant winter storm into the region right now. We're talking lighter doses of snow. We still could stack up these 5 to 15 centimeter snowfall events, but we're not looking at these, no blizzards and no, disruptive winter storms showing up in the next 7 to 14 days across the Canadian prairie. Here's your week 2 forecast. Precipitation on the left, just pretty much average forecast across Western Canada. What that tells me is it's going to be active. We're going to have some storm systems impacting the region, but no strong signal for a heavy corridor of snow. And then, on the contrary there, no strong signal for a completely dry week either. It's going to snow. It may rain in some areas here, and it's likely going to be in scattered fashion. Temperatures, again, no link to bitterly cold Arctic air. That means we're going to have a mild pattern across the Canadian Prairie. Temperatures a lot like this. Those highs anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees in Calgary. Very similar in Edmonton. Here's the look in Saskatoon, Regina, and then we will finish it up here in Winnipeg. You see Regina, a little bit of a warm-up even as we head into next week. So there you have it. Some chances for some light snow across southeastern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba. That's where they're most likely to pick up anywhere from 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. Flurries Thursday and Friday, a quiet weekend. Looking at the next chance for some light snow as we head into next week, but temperatures, again, near or a little bit warmer than seasonal averages for the middle of November. Have a great week. I'll talk to you again on Monday, November 13th.